Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter what time you're watching us. Welcome to Malaca Broadcast Network TV, where we take worldly topics and turn it into kingdom truth, which is the real truth. Today, we have a topic that is have to do with time and your health. Do you know that the number one reason why people don't take off your health when you ask them is because I don't have any time? The number one reason why people don't fulfill their purpose is because they don't have any time. At least that's what they claim, that they don't have any time. But the real reason why they don't have any time is because they don't know how to prioritize their time. They don't know how to identify what is important and what's not important. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you today. I'm going to give you a method where you can make more of your time, because everybody get that. That's one thing that we all get the same ration. Everybody get 24 hours a day. How come some people do a lot with those 24 hours, accomplish a lot in those 24 hours, and how come some of us don't do anything, or can accomplish anything, or do things halfway? Why? Because we are procrastinating, because we are not prioritizing, okay, and we don't know what is important and what's not important. So before we go into the topic, I want to show you a video that's going to give you a real synopsis of what I'm talking about. Okay? So let's play the video.
There's a well-known story about a university professor that wanted to make a point about the importance of prioritizing how we spend our time. The professor stood in front of his class with a display of items. He took a large, empty jar and filled it with rocks, approximately 2 inches in diameter. He then asked the class if the jar was full, and they agreed yes, the jar was full. The professor then took a box of pebbles and added them to the jar and gave it a little shake to move the pebbles into the open areas around the rocks. The professor asked the class again if the jar was full. They agreed. Yes, it is full this time. The professor then took a box of sand and added it to the jar, filling the spaces between the rocks and the pebbles. He asked again, now, is the jar full? They laughed and agreed, yes, it's full. This jar represents your life. The big rocks signify the really important things in your life, such as health, family, and friends. The pebbles are the other things that matter in your life, such as work or school. And the sand signifies the remaining small stuff, such as material possessions. Now, if you were to reverse the order of filling the jar and add the sand first, there would not be enough room for the rocks and the pebbles. The same principle applies to your life. If you spend too much time on the small stuff, you won't have enough space or time to focus on the things that are truly important, the big rocks. So, prioritize the big rocks first. Practice self-care, spend quality time with the people you love, and the rest is just pebbles and sand. They will always find some space.
Yes. So you saw what I mean. The thing is that we do not prioritize. We put the sand, which is like the small stuff first, okay, and then we try to feed the pebbles and the rocks, and they will not feed at all, because then we go backwards. It's like, let's have fun, let's watch TV, let's do things that have to do with working all the time, 2 3 jobs to accumulate material things, and then the important things, which are the big rocks, are not able to fit in our lives, and then we're not going to have time for the big tops, which is your purpose and your family and your health. Okay, so let me tell you something. In order for you to have enough time for your health and for your purpose, it is important for you to block your time. So every month, at least once a month, you want to open your calendar, and you want to be able to block your time accordingly. So make sure that you prioritize. So the 3 big rocks. Okay, I'm gonna deviate a little bit of the video, because they said family and they said about health, but they forgot one thing, and it's God. Okay, for me, the first rock that you have to put in, which means the first thing that you have to block in your calendar, is your time with God. God said, draw near me and I will draw near you. So it's necessary, in order for you to have a relationship with God, in order for you to know how to live in the kingdom and be able to take advantage of the advantages and the benefits are being part of the kingdom, you need to spend time with God. You need to put time with God, not only for to build that relationship, but also for your spiritual health. It is important for you to spend time in the spirit, in the spirit. Time praying, try doing your affirmations, doing your devotion, reading the word of God, going to church. Okay, those things are essential in order for you to be able to have a healthy life and be able to find and fulfill your purpose, because your purpose is in God. And how are you going to find your purpose unless you cannot find who you are in Christ and exactly what God gave you and give you to do? Then you won't be able to do it. You won't be able to fulfill your purpose. You will not be able to find your purpose. Hi, Mr. Ambassador Brian. Thank you so much. So that is very, very important for you to understand that God go first. So that's your first rock. You block your time, whether you need to wake up a little earlier so you can spend time with your father, you need to do it. Okay, so wake up a little time, make sure that you have time for devotional, you have time for the word, you have time for worship. Okay, so you can be in the presence of God. You will have time to learn something new. You have time to practice some gratefulness. You have time to meditate in the word of God. Okay, I'm not talking about meditate, go with the empty space and you don't know what's going into your mind. No, you meditate on the word of God. Time to renewing your mind. That's the time that this is happening. So it's important for us to block. So now you have your calendar and you block that time. Usually for me, it's about an hour and a half in the morning. So I work from home. Okay, I work from home. I have my own business. So what I do is that I wake up. I don't have any clients until 9 in the morning, because that way I wake up before and I do my time with God. Is essential. I have found that when I don't have my time with God, my day doesn't go, not, it doesn't go smooth like I want to. So it's important for me to have my time with God. Also, in that time, you're going to work in your gratefulness. You're going to work in forgiveness. You're going to strengthen your faith. You're going to learn the principles of the kingdom. Sometimes we are not blessed in our life because we don't know the principles of the kingdom. We don't. Every single time you touch a principle, you're going to get rewarded by the reward that comes by obeying that principle. And if we don't know what those are, sometimes we walk a Christian life not knowing anything. We only know we just stop at the door. I ask this question to everybody: would you like to stand on the door, or you would like to stand under an open window? I always say I want to start under an open window. Why? Because I already went to the door. Jesus is the door. I already had into the door, and that's what happened with many Christians. They stop there and they don't find about the kingdom. They're just sitting in the door watching the kingdom, but they don't understand it, or they don't walk into the kingdom. So that's very important that we need to do that. That's why that time with God is essential. The time that you spend in church, the time that you spend in Bible study, congregating with others Christians that are gonna teach you about the kingdom. It is important that we spend that time. So you block that time. I block my time when it comes to my hour 15 minutes in the morning to do that. And also I have time that I do prayer and Bible study with my husband. We do as a family with our son. Okay, and our church events, whether it's the Sunday service or prayer night or women's meeting, all those things are already in my calendar block. That's the first rock. The second rock is self-care and health. That is the second rock, because now if you're not healthy, you're not going to be able to accomplish anything. So making sure that you block the time for the things that you need to do for your health is important. For example, I block my time that is to sleep. You need to sleep 8 hours a night. It is important for you to block that time. If you are a person like me that have a problem, falling asleep, you know that you need to block then a little hour before sleep to prepare the environment and so that you will be able to fall asleep. And for those that have the problem to fall asleep, to prepare the environment, you want to put maybe some lavender in your room. You want to have some tea like ashwagandha or chamomile. There are adaptogen teas that are going to help you relax. You want to take a hot bath with Epsom salt and some lavender to relax. Okay, you want to put some worship music low, and then you want to be able to do your gratefulness at night. What the 3 things that happened that day that you're happy for. And if you like me that have a lot of ideas and my mind is always working, you want to do a brain dump in your journal and dump everything that you have to do your prayers at night and your devotional at night, and then go to bed. to go to sleep. So you want to block that time because you need to be re-energized for the things that you have to do to the next day. Also, I block in my calendar my cooking time, my prepping food time. Okay, because another thing, the reason why we don't eat healthy, I don't have time to cook. I don't have time to go to the grocery store. Then, if you don't like to cook on a daily basis, then prep your food. Something that I do every Sunday. On Sundays, we go to church, then we go to brunch, and after brunch, we go to the grocery store. And at the grocery store, I buy what I'm gonna cook for the week, and then I prep for the week when I come home. We have some music. My family's watching a movie. My kitchen is like in front of the living room, so I can watch while I'm preparing my food, and I prepping my food. Either I'm cooking it, cooking some things and leave it in the freezer and some in the refrigerator, so I have for the week, and all I have to do is just grab it. Or I prep things like there's certain meals that I like it fresh, so I make sure I already cut the vegetables. I already prep the meat and season it, marinate it and put it in the refrigerator so I can have it ready for the week, and it will be quicker in the week. That then I have to use less time in doing that. So you have to put that in the calendar. Your exercise time, you have to put that in the calendar as well. Make sure that you block those times, okay? And eating right, exercising, doctor's visits to make sure that you do your physical for the year and your mammogram, all the other stuff that we're supposed to be doing. We need to put it in our calendar. I always say what is not in the calendar doesn't happen, okay? So that's what you already have your God time, and now you have your self-care time. Then the last thing that you have to put in your calendar is your relationships. Okay, your relationships, because we were made to be with people, and we need to cultivate the people that are around us, especially our primary family. Our children, our spouse, our parents. We need to make time for them in our busy schedule. If you don't plug it in, it's not going to happen. So, for example, I have you let's start with the marriage. You want to make sure that you nurture your marriage, so you're going to have a date in the week that is your day night. Whether the day night will be at home or you go out, whatever you do, but you have a date night with your husband. When I talk about this to a lot of my clients, a lot of the ladies tell me, "Oh, but I don't have to have a date night already assigned because I like to have a spontaneity." Well, tell your husband not to tell you when he's going to take you on Thursday, when it's day night. Or he can be as spontaneous any other time, but you want to have some time that you already know that is the time for your spouse and you to be together every week. So in case the week get chaotic, you already have that in the calendar. Okay? Yes, Ambassador Veronique, you want to put it in your calendar. So you already have every week that time with your spouse. The same thing goes the time with your children, the time with your mother, okay? And then you have your friends and your other extended family. You want to make sure that whether you're scheduling either a visit or you want to schedule a call, you know, or if you have adult children and they live in another state like I do, I schedule the times that I'm going to be talking to my granddaughter and to my daughter, and so that you make sure that you have the time, that you have made the time to cultivate those relationships. Because what's going to happen is, if you have success in your life, if you need somebody to help you in any moment, and you haven't cultivated those relationships, you're not going to have nothing to rely on, nobody to rely on. And we're supposed to be together. We're supposed to rely on the people that are around us. So it is important. So why those are the big rocks? Why? Because when your spirit is in line with God, you're going to be blessed. Things are going to get smoothly. You're going to be peaceful. You're going to be relaxed. And you need that in order to run your day. Okay? If you're healthy, you're going to have the vitality. If you do the second rock is self-care. If you do that, then you're going to have the vitality, you're going to have the focus, you're going to have the energy, you're going to have the creativity to attack whatever come in the day. Okay? And be able to have the energy to fulfill your purpose and work and do everything that you need to do, come with ideas, finish projects, accomplish goals, and everything that you need to do. You need to be healthy to do that. And second, you need a peace of mind when it comes to your family. You want to make sure your family, your marriage, your children are doing good. It doesn't do you no good to be successful in your career, but your marriage is broken and your kids are lost. And you have no friends. And you are all alone. So that's why spirituality, self-care, and relationships are the three big rocks. Then after that, then the other rocks, the pebbles, will be your job, your 9 to 5 if you have a 9 to 5, okay, and all the projects and tasks that you have to do for your business if you have a business or a project, or what you have to do for your purpose, or you work in the ministry, because family is first and then ministry is that God is first, okay, then family, then ministry. Okay, so at that point, if you work in the ministry, you're doing something in the ministry, then that become the part of the pebbles. And then the sun is all the fun, the hangouts, the watching the TV, vacation, and so on and so forth will be on the sand. So those three things are very important for us to put so we can have enough time. Now, people believe that we need to have a balanced life. If you go out there and you search in the Google, or you talk to any coaches, and they all talk about having a balanced life. Well, I do not believe that it's possible to have a balanced life, because for me, and this is my definition for balance, means that I'm going to have an hour with God, an hour with my husband, an hour with my son, an hour with my parents, an hour in exercises, an hour in eating, an hour in sleeping. Everything will be equal in order to be balanced, because a balance, everything, in order to be balanced, both sides have to be equal. So I feel that that is not possible for us to have everything in balance. So what I like to do is to harmonize. It's like putting a task that take little of your mind with something that take more of your mind. For example, let's say I have a task to do. Let's say I'm going to be doing a speaking engagement, and I have some handouts that need to be stapled. But I also need to spend some quality time with my son. Well, I will say, okay, baby, come with here with me. Let's talk about how your life is doing, what's going on with your friends, and all this stuff while we staple these papers. So stapling the papers doesn't take too much of your time, but the conversation with your son need for you to be present and listening and stuff like that. So that will be a way to harmonize your lifestyle. Or let's say you want to do something that is gonna leave a legacy in the life of your children, for example. So you can say, okay, baby, let's go and feed the homeless. So right there, you spending time, the quality time with your son, at the same time that you are leaving a legacy in their hearts and also outreaching somebody. So you see how many things you got to do. Let's say this week we don't have enough finances for day night, but we decide, me and my husband, we're gonna cook together, have some fun cooking together, and prepping the food for the week. So here we are, we have fun, we cook, okay? You're gonna cook the meal that's for Monday, I'm gonna cook the meal that is for Tuesday, or you're gonna cook the vegetables, I'm gonna make all the snack and the fruits or whatever, but we working together, we spending time, we accomplish the things that we need to do for our health, at the same time we're doing some quality time. That's called harmonizing. Okay, so I have a method that is called the harmonizing lifestyle method. Okay, and I'm going to put a picture so you can see an example. Let's put the picture in. Okay, so this is called the lifestyle harmonizing method. I didn't create this. This was created by my business coach, my first business coach I have. Her name is Dr. Manisha White. She also a ambassador of the kingdom as well, and she created this method. And this method have worked for me for years now. I've been working in this method. So every Sunday I prepare my week, and I use this method. This method is called the harmonizing lifestyle method. What it is that every week I'm going to be working on those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 areas every week. So what she's using is a sentence as an acronym. It's called a smart woman, or if it's a man, a smart man, live on routine habits. Okay, and the S from smart is for self-care. The W and M is for either wealth or money. The L is for legacy. The O is for outreach. The R is for relationship, and the H is for health. So what it is that I'm going to make sure when I prepare my week that I'm going to do something for every area every week. So that means that I'm not doing it every day, but I'm doing it in every week. I make sure that I accomplishing everything that I put there that is important to me. Okay, so for example, for my self-care, I'm gonna put my spiritual time there, because self-care have to do with your mind, spirit, and body. So I'm gonna put in my self-care my spiritual time, which is my prayer devotional. And then in the side, I'm gonna be scheduling a massage for this week, for example. I'm gonna take a hiking day, or I'm gonna go by the beach and relax. I love praying by the water. So I like to go to the lake, I like to go to the beach, things like that. And I have it near me, so that's good. Okay, so that's what I put there. For example, what we're going to do for self-care. For wealth or money, that's where you're going to put everything that have to do that's going to bring you finances. So the time that you spend in your job will be there. If you're doing like in my business, I'm promoting my book. I have clients to coach. That when you're gonna put that in your schedule. And then for legacy is when you're gonna do something that you're gonna be that you know that's gonna be here even when you're gone. And it's something that you live in either in somebody's heart or a material thing that you live in that's going to be here even when you're gone. Okay, so that's legacy. For example, doing this show is a legacy because it's always going to be in the internet, and anybody, I can be 100 years old, already gone to heaven, and people will be able to see this video no matter what. So this is like legacy. So speaking life, speaking in a show is like writing my book. That's legacy. Sharing an experience with your child, you live in legacy on your child. Okay, so that's what you can put under legacy. Then you have outreach. Outreach means when you're helping somebody else, when you're giving your time to help somebody else, whether it is helping your neighbor, giving a ride to work, or taking your mama to the doctor's visit, or feeding the homeless, or you are supporting with volunteering in any a nonprofit organization. Okay, so for example, my outreach can be feed the homeless, serve at church, take my mom to a doctor appointment. Okay, and then your relationships. You want to make sure that this week I'm gonna have my date night with my husband, and this week I'm gonna call my sister. Actually, I really have to call my sister because today is her 40th birthday. So happy birthday, Cherie, if you're watching me. So I have to call my sister, and then maybe lunch with my BFF, which means with my best friend. And then the last thing that I'm gonna put for this week is everything that I'm gonna do for my health. So I'm gonna walk 3 miles. I'm gonna prep my food. I'm gonna make sure I get my physical. I'm gonna sleep 8 hours every night. So how this work, how you harmonize it is that you, for example, you can say, I can have time, like I was explaining before, I can have time in legacy and time with relationship at the same time. I can say, okay, I'm gonna take my son with me to go and feed the homeless. Not only I'm spending quality time with my son that is gonna met my what I need for relationship, but it also gonna meet my outreach, and it also gonna meet my legacy. So you see how you were able in one thing that you did to accomplish all those things at the same time, for example. And for example, when it comes to the things that you do at health, you're gonna be broken that in the week. I said, let's say I want to be able to have walked 10 miles this week. You can break it down in the week and then do the walk every single day. So it's very important for us to harmonize our time, to make sure that we prioritize, okay, and do not procrastinate. Usually when we procrastinate doing things, it's because we are afraid. Either we are afraid of succeeding, or we are afraid of losing, of failing. Okay, so just do it. If it's something that is gonna push you forward, and it's something that you need to be doing with your business or with your purpose, just do it. Just do it, because it's better to learn a lesson so that you don't do it later, that don't do nothing and you won't accomplish nothing. So it's very important for us to make sure that we manage our time properly. Okay, so it's very important, like I said, that our big rocks are your spirituality, because we can do absolutely nothing without God. Our second thing is our self-care and health, because you cannot do absolutely nothing if you're not healthy. Okay, and then the third thing is your relationships. And let me spend a little bit in that relationships. When talking about relationship, we're talking about your mom and your dad and your spouse and your children. At that time with relationships, you can also spend it by knowing them better. Maybe doing so assessment, like the love assessment, so you know how they like to be loved, and assessments of personality and talents and things like that. Especially parents, make sure that you do those things with your children, so you know how to nurture those talents and gifts that God have deposited in their lives. so that they will be able to find who they are in Christ earlier. That time that you spend as a family in your devotional and your Bible study is essential. Fathers, it's essential that you take the initiative to start these Bible studies in the house with your children, with your family. That's going to bring unity in the family, okay? Unity in the relationship. As spouses, it's very important, like I said before, to schedule those day nights, because days get busy, life get chaotic, things happen, and then you're not going to spend time with the spouse, especially when you are a mother, a business owner, and you have the spouse, and the spouse is working all day. Those things are important that you spend time with them, because otherwise you're going to get drowned in life. And then what happens is that kid grow up, go to college, and you don't even know your husband anymore, and you don't know what to do with him anymore, or with her anymore, with your spouse, because you haven't spent that time, that relationship. It's important. Relationships is work. Okay, we need to spend time. The same thing goes with friendships, and you need to spend time. If you are not gonna spend time, on the lunch or something, at least give them a call. Nowadays it is easy. It is easy to see them. You do the FaceTime and you want to see the face, or the WhatsApp video. If you want to see the face, you can do a text to make sure that you're acknowledging this person. Some people sometimes you don't know how they feel, and you don't know if they need you, because you don't talk to them, or you don't knock in their door to see how they're doing. It is important for us to build those relationships in order for us to have a good time. So again, when you have the peace that you're supposed to have, the energy and the health that you're supposed to have, and the relationship that you're supposed to have, then everything else is easy, because now that you're healthy, now that you're in peace, now that you're aligned with God, everything will be smooth. Ideas will come to my mind. Any project you work to is going to be successful, because you have the energy, you are creative, you are focused. Okay, and what used to take you 2-3 hours, now because you are alert, and because you have the energy, and because you're in peace, it's going to take you less. And because you have good relationships, you're going to be able to know how to delegate, okay, and how to get help as well, to help you with your projects and what you had to do. So sometimes we forget family and everything else, and spend so much time. Sometimes, how many of you sit down in a problem? Sometimes you're in the computer, whatever, you have a problem and you cannot solve it. You're there thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, and you spend the whole day thinking into that problem and didn't accomplish nothing, didn't get the rest, didn't get time, spend time with your relation. But if you would have just stopped and make sure that your big rocks I feel, you will have the creativity and the energy. And if you cannot come with it, you have the relationship that you can connect with, that can help you with the idea. You see? So it's very important for us, in order for us to become that CEO of our health, for us to know how to prioritize and manage our time. And remember, harmonize instead of balancing, because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So it's very important that you do that. For example, legacy and wealth. I might be doing a video, but in my video I might be promoting my services, promoting my business at the same time. Even though I'm doing legacy and leaving something for the world to see later on, even when I'm gone, I'm also promoting for my now, for what I'm doing, what I need right now. So do you see how you harmonize right there? When you do something that is for your self-care and for your health, maybe in your self-care you decided that you want to take a hike. Well, when you're taking a hike, it is good for your self-care, because mentally you're seeing all the nature, you're sitting in nature, you're connecting to nature. Okay, but at the same time you're getting exercise, so you're getting your self-care at the same time that you're getting your health. You see how you harmonize? Is That's what I want you guys to do. So I hope this information help you, okay, to understand and to know how to prioritize and make the most that you can of your time. Okay, so thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for watching today, and I see you later. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.